Put in there. If there's a knife or what's that?
Please leave me alone.
Okay.
Please leave me alone.
So you actually do work for somebody? Is that? Oh, geez. Okay. Listen, I'm.
All right, told you dumbasses that I'm undercover right now. Get your asses out of here so I can finish my mission.
Yeah.
November 14th, 2018, 8:47 p.m., Target store, Phoenix, Arizona. The security cameras inside the store are quiet. Fluorescent lights hum softly above empty aisles. A man in a dark hoodie walks past the drink section. Nothing unusual, just another customer buying something before closing. But what the cameras can't see is that this man has been undercover for 2 months, and tonight, everything is about to go wrong. Because in less than 60 seconds, 2 uniformed police officers will walk through those doors and accidentally threaten to destroy one of the largest federal investigations in the state. What happens next will leave agents stunned and nearly blow the entire operation. The man with a normal life. At least on paper, Special Agent Daniel Carter looked like an ordinary man. 38 years old, clean record, calm personality. Neighbors described him as quiet, someone who jogged early in the morning, someone who never caused trouble. But Carter didn't have a normal job. He worked for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For the last 2 months, he had been deep undercover. His mission was simple in theory: infiltrate a regional weapons trafficking ring that was quietly moving illegal firearms across state lines. But operations like this are fragile. One wrong move, one suspicious glance, and the suspects disappear. Or worse, they retaliate. That's why Carter had spent weeks building a fake identity. New phone, new job story, new friends. Every detail carefully constructed. And that night, he wasn't supposed to stand out. He was just supposed to buy a drink. But the moment he walked into Target, the operation took a dangerous turn. CCTV camera aisle 12 captures the moment. Carter stands near the cooler. He grabs a bottle of iced tea. Normal, casual. Then the front doors open. 2 uniformed police officers step inside. Phoenix Police. At first, Carter doesn't react. Why would he? Police walk into stores all the time. But then, the officers begin scanning the aisles, looking closely at customers. Then they spot him, and suddenly, they start walking straight toward him. The footage shows Carter glance down, then back up. The officers stop just a few feet away. One of them speaks first. "Sir, can we see some identification?" At this moment, Carter's mind is racing, because showing his real identity would expose him as a federal agent, but refusing could escalate the situation. And any scene inside the store could draw attention that the suspects he's investigating cannot see. The camera shows Carter pause, just for a second. Then one of the officers speaks again, this time more firmly. "Do you have ID on you?" It seems like a simple question, but for Carter, it could destroy 2 months of undercover work. And the situation is about to get worse. One officer notices something, a bulge under Carter's jacket, possibly a holstered weapon. The officer's tone changes immediately. "Sir, are you carrying?" Now the tension rises, because Carter is carrying. Undercover agents often do, but the weapon is registered under federal authority, not under his fake identity. And if these officers push the situation further, his cover story could collapse instantly. The camera shows Carter slowly raising his hands. The store becomes silent. Customers nearby begin watching. Something is clearly wrong. And now, the officers are becoming suspicious. The moment everything nearly collapses. One officer gestures toward Carter's jacket. "Step outside with us." This is the worst possible outcome. Outside means more questions, more attention, possible radio calls, and if Carter's name gets run through a database, the undercover identity disappears, the operation ends, and the trafficking suspects he's been tracking for weeks will vanish overnight. But Carter has only seconds to decide, so he leans closer to the officers and quietly says something, words the camera can't hear. 3 sentences, short, calm, direct, and suddenly,
the officers' expressions change. The reveal. One officer steps back, confused. The other officer squints at Carter. Wait, what? Carter reaches slowly into his pocket. He pulls out a badge wallet, but he doesn't open it fully. Just enough, just long enough for them to see the letters FBI. Both officers freeze because the man they just stopped in the drink aisle is not a suspicious shopper. He's a federal agent in the middle of an active operation. And the realization hits instantly. They almost blew it. The evidence. Later reports would confirm what happened. Store CCTV captured the entire interaction. Phone records show Carter had been communicating with federal task force agents that same evening. Witnesses inside the store recalled the moment. One shopper later said, "At first I thought it was just a normal police check, but then the officers suddenly got quiet, like something serious had happened." Within minutes, the officers stepped away from Carter. One of them spoke quietly into his radio. The other apologized, not loudly, not dramatically, just a simple sentence. "Sorry about that, sir." But Carter knew the truth. If the conversation had lasted 1 minute longer, his undercover identity might have been compromised, and the entire investigation could have collapsed. The confrontation. Outside the store, the officers spoke privately with Carter. No cameras this time. But according to later reports, the exchange was tense. Not angry, just serious. The officers explained why they approached him. A recent call about suspicious activity in the area, someone matching his general description. Wrong place, wrong time. Carter understood, but he also reminded them of something important. Undercover operations depend on absolute secrecy. Every small disruption can destroy months of work. The officers nodded. They didn't argue. They simply stepped back and let Carter leave the store. But what they didn't know is how close they came to disaster. The operation continues. Carter walked out of the Target that night, drink in hand, acting normal. Because somewhere nearby, members of the trafficking ring were expecting to see him later. If they sensed anything unusual, they would disappear. So Carter kept moving, like nothing had happened. And somehow, the investigation survived. 2 weeks later, federal agents made several arrests connected to the weapons network. Dozens of illegal firearms were seized, and the operation that nearly collapsed inside a Target store ended successfully. But the story doesn't end there, because there's one detail that still sends chills through investigators. The chilling twist. When agents later reviewed surveillance footage from nearby streets, they noticed something disturbing. One of the suspects Carter had been investigating was parked in a car across the street from the Target that night, watching, waiting. And if that suspect had seen police detain Carter for even a moment longer, the entire network would have vanished, just like that. 2 months of undercover work, gone. All because of a routine police interaction. Final reflection. Undercover operations live on a razor's edge. Every conversation matters. Every unexpected moment carries risk. And sometimes the biggest threat to an investigation isn't the criminals, it's coincidence. On November 14, 2018, inside a quiet Target store, 2 police officers almost ended a federal operation without knowing it. And if things had gone just slightly differently, the investigation might never have recovered. Sometimes, the difference between success and failure is less than 60 seconds.